Stop. You're here because you're exhausted. You're physically present, sitting in your chair, holding your phone, or looking at your screen. But mentally, you are miles away. You're stuck in a 3 a.m. argument that happened 3 years ago. Or you're already rehearsing a disaster scenario that will never come true. This is the truth of modern life. We are living inside our heads, constantly at war with ourselves. You know that feeling, the relentless, exhausting noise inside your skull. It's the background hum of anxiety, the endless review of past conversations, the obsessive planning for events that are months away. This mental chatter isn't just annoying. It is the single greatest drain on your energy, your joy, and your peace. It makes you irritable, steals your sleep, and convinces you that you are fundamentally broken. You scroll through social media, you try to focus on your work, but your mind is running an emotional marathon you didn't sign up for. But what if I told you the difference between living in that constant mental prison and experiencing genuine, effortless peace isn't about controlling your thoughts? It's about a fundamental shift in identity that instantly changes the game. This isn't a quick fix. This is the master key to your freedom. The real problem: mistaking the radio for the listener. Here is the ultimate mental hack that almost no one talks about. You think the problem is your worry, your regret, or your planning, but the real issue is much simpler. You have forgotten you are the one listening. Take a second right now. You can hear a voice commenting on my words, judging your life, or remembering what you need from the grocery store. It is the narrator, the critic, the planner, and the historian, all rolled into one relentless loop. Now, ask yourself the question almost nobody ever asks. Who is the listener of that voice? If you can hear the internal monologue, if you can observe it running its loop, then you, the awareness, cannot be the monologue. This is the most profound realization a human being can have. The voice is just a function of the brain, like your heart beating or your lungs breathing. It's automatic. It's a radio that is always playing. But you are not the radio. You are the quiet, spacious room in which the radio is playing. Most people spend their entire lives completely identified with that mental voice. They believe every word it says. When the voice says, "You messed that up," they feel shame. When it says, "This is going to go wrong," they feel paralyzing anxiety. This identification is the original sin of suffering. You have mistakenly merged your entire self with it. You are the infinite, quiet sky. Your thoughts are just the weather passing through. The wind is real, the rain is real, but they do not change the essence of the sky. The cost: trapped in mental time travel. And this identification is what fuels the suffering. Your brain, bless its overprotective heart, is terrified of silence. It believes if it's not constantly analyzing every social cue, reviewing every past mistake, and planning for every future threat, you are in danger. This is why you are constantly trapped in what I call mental time travel. Past regret. The mind drags you back years, forcing you to relive embarrassing moments from high school, reanalyze a job interview you failed, or replay a hurtful comment you made. There is no problem to solve. It is merely self-torture through repetition. Future anxiety. The mind launches you into the future, forcing you to pre-suffer through imagined worst-case scenarios next week. What if the flight is canceled? What if I fail the meeting? What if they say no? This anticipatory anxiety is a phantom limb of stress, causing a physical reaction to a threat that doesn't exist in the present moment. The mind creates an emotional echo chamber. For example, a simple work email comes in. Your mind tells a story. They think I'm slow. This is a subtle criticism. I must defend myself. You immediately feel anxiety and resentment. Then, the mind analyzes the anxiety, creates more stories about your boss and your job security, trapping you in a cycle of manufactured drama. You are having full emotional breakdowns over things that exist only inside your imagination. Your physical body is reacting to a mental narrative as if it were a physical threat. This is why you are constantly tired and stressed. But the moment you internalize this one truth, that your suffering is not coming from what is happening, but from the story your mind tells about what is happening, the entire prison dissolves, and the door has been open the whole time. The ultimate solution? The presence anchor technique. So, how do you walk through that door? You need a reliable, repeatable action to break the trance of identification. I call it the presence anchor technique. When you catch your mind spiraling into time travel, use this three-step interruption. Notice and name the separation. Pause the internal dialogue and observe what the mind is doing. Immediately classify and name the activity. Say out loud or internally, I notice my mind is engaged in future worry, or I am observing a loop of past regret. You can even name the voice. There's the critic again. Naming it separates you from it. You wouldn't yell at a dog and call it yourself, and you shouldn't treat your mental chatter any differently. The observer shift, the identity check. Immediately reinforce your true nature. Remind yourself, I am not the script. I am the one watching the script. This is the crucial moment where you shift your identity from the actor to the audience. The thought is an object, and you are the subject perceiving it. This reinforces your true identity as the awareness, not the chatter. The feeling of distance creates instant peace. The anchor, the return to now. Pull your attention violently back to the present moment. Use your senses. This is the only place peace exists. Feel the chair supporting your weight. Name 5 things you can see right now. Example, the texture of the wood, the color of the wall. Take 3 deep, conscious breaths and hear the air moving in and out. This is not about stopping the thoughts. It's about choosing a different, healthier address for your attention. The thoughts will continue, but they lose their power over you because your focus is anchored in the reality of now. The voice won't stop talking. That's not the goal. The goal is to stop taking the voice seriously. Practice this 20 times a day. At the grocery store, waiting for a meeting, before you fall asleep. Each time you choose the observer over the chatter, you dismantle the mental prison layer by layer. This is how you reclaim your power, stop the exhausting noise, and finally come home to the deep, unshakable peace that was waiting for you all along. If you are ready to trade constant noise for true freedom, hit that subscribe button. And I want to hear your story. Drop a comment below and share the last time you successfully used the anchor technique to interrupt a mental spiral.